All right, so today we're going to be talking about the best ways to save money when you're traveling. This is quite a interesting topic because there's varying degrees of how to go about it. But for me personally, these are just what have worked for me, and they're probably most likely going to work for you best. So first and probably the obvious one is to make sure you book ahead of time. Ideally, about 6 to 8 weeks. There's been times where I've tried to book probably 2 to 3 weeks before my departure, and ideally the price is just gonna fluctuate and go up the closer you go towards leaving. So I would say booking ahead of time is going to save you more, and you're probably going to get more flexibility when it comes to the rates, and not only that, the cancellations as well. So if there's something last minute that comes up, or if you're need to change your route, so to say. Just these things, these last minute things, they do come up. So I think it's best to do it ahead of time, just to save yourself stress, and also the wallet, so you have more money left over to spend on other things. um, Another thing that has really helped me is kind of searching the where you're gonna go, and essentially the prices for these attractions as well. This is a big one that often goes overlooked. Most people, they kind of have an idea of where they're gonna go, but they don't actually know the admission prices. And then when you get there, if it changes per season, because ideally during the spring and summer months, you do see the rates tend to go up. But in the early years and beginning of the spring, January, February, that's usually where the activity is kind of boiled down. The Christmas season has passed, so there's not really as many flights or departures taking place. So just be mindful of that, because the seasonal factor is pretty big. And because they're most likely expecting more business, the hotel service as well, then you're definitely more likely to see a higher rate because of that. So just be mindful of that. Don't get sticker shock syndrome, where you kind of get there and then you're surprised. These things really should be taken care of ahead of time. Another one is to try and look for uncommon places. I found that these ones are a little bit overlooked because they're not generally in the itinerary, or if you kind of just search on your phone and you see a list of places that are more visited as opposed to others. These ones tend not to get as much attraction and people actually visiting, but they're nonetheless really good. Per example, these is restaurants. Usually the bigger chain ones, they're pretty standardized, so they're known. But if you can find a couple that have the high rating, whether using the Google reviews or the Yelp, they'll go a long way, because they're probably going to take a bit more time. The ingredients are going to be more authentic, and just overall the experience is going to be better. It's usually good to try and find those hidden gems and those hidden attractions, because not a lot of people go, so you're not going to be waiting. Price is probably going to be a bit better, because there's not a lot of people flocking to it, and then overall, the quality might be better. It may actually be worse as well, because they don't have a lot of people there. But overall, it's good, because it gives you a wide ranging perspective on what's good and what's bad. Now, the next one for me, which has helped me a lot, is really just splitting it with the people you're going to be with. Some people like doing it 50-50 down the middle, or some person gets one thing and then the other person gets the other. But for me, I found it's probably better just to get that figured out with whoever you're going with well beforehand. It just saves these little minute problems down the road, because last thing you want to do is get there and then be heckling over who's going to pay, or how these prices are going to be allocated towards each person. I think this is really really crucial, especially if you're going as a big group. Typically for me, when I go, it's usually just me, maybe one or two other people. So it is, two, three people, or even four for that matter. It's not really a big deal. But if it's a group of like, six, seven, even 10 or 12, I think it's probably more crucial for you to make sure that you get that done ahead of time, just because it's really going to save a lot of trouble down the road. And In addition to, some places will actually give you a pretty good discount depending on where you're going. So for me personally, when I go, especially like for rides and things like that, or if you're planning on like staying for a certain amount of days, then they're usually pretty good at giving you discounts and that sort of thing. So it's good in that respect. And I think as well, it saves the time down the road, because if you know ahead of time who you're going with, it kind of makes the planning and the experience a lot easier, because then it's easier to navigate, or and account for the amount of people. Now, the same thing can also be said, is if you do this last minute, or if you have like, someone who hitches along last minute, or you get a response, you know uh, really close. This plays a role in the experience as well, because then you're last minute accounting for all this stuff, right? So I think overall it's probably better just to make sure it's done ahead of time. Now the last one, I think, which is really good, and it's helped me. But try and see, especially for the flights and things like that. If you can get a discount, or if you can get bumped over a lot, maybe not so much now, because the flights have obviously declined due to the pandemic. But typically, like on a regular day, most of these flights are overbooked. So if you get bumped to the next one, then you can get credits, and possibly get a better seat and a better discount. So definitely take advantage of that. I do know it's probably a bit better if you become a member. So if you're just like a basic member, who you're only going with one airline all the time, then they're typically more lenient to give you these kind of discounts. And then you also enjoy like the amenities as well. So if you need extra service, then they're more likely to give that to you as opposed to someone else. So it's kind of a win-win. Now, one thing is, if you're comfortable bumping up to like a higher price seat, then so be it. Usually for me, I don't really see the benefit, because you're paying for a little space. Even if you go up a few seats, for me personally, just the difference is, it's not big enough. The only time I really would do something like that is if I was doing it 3 4 months in advance, where I can actually, at least I could see the difference, where I'm saving that amount. But aside from that, I don't really see the difference in that. And it's just for me personally, it's kind of a waste. But for you, if you see the benefit in doing that, then I mean, by all means, so be it. Or as a last resort, if you're just kind of tired of the pricing that they're giving you, or you're not getting a good deal, then you can always just switch and get on a different airline. It might cost you a bit more, but it's probably going to be to your benefit to do it, just because it's in your eyes, it's a better deal. There's various ways to go about it. I mean, you can obviously try and write to the airline and see if they're gonna give you that kind of discount after the fact. This happened to me in the summertime, where I was traveling to the Maritimes, and I I canceled my flight, but I wasn't really recuperated, because I didn't really check off the box where it said that I would get a refund, so to say. But with that being said, you can always these things are always negotiable. But if you can do that, then I would certainly advocate for it, because then that means you're saving money down the road, and you're not that the additional expense to you is going to be very small as opposed to you just like losing all that booking money. These are just like a few things that have helped me. There's obviously a lot more, but the few critical ones will certainly go a long way. Just because it gives you more mindfulness of the plan before you go. So yeah, let me know which one works for you, and hopefully you can implement these.